to Brooklyn, New York is rapidly approaching. It's January 19th, Barclays Center, and it is, of course, the promotion's debut right here on ESPN+. I told you a few weeks ago the original plan for the main event for that card, Yoel Romero versus Paulo Costa. Costa, unfortunately, had to withdraw. As we speak right this moment, there's still no main event for that card. They are searching high and low. If you're a UFC champion who isn't booked, they've talked to you about fighting on that card. They are scrambling at this point. And I'm being told that they are seriously considering moving the TJ Dillashaw versus Henry Cejudo UFC flyweight title fight that is currently scheduled for Anaheim, California on January 26th. They are considering moving it now to January 19th in Brooklyn, New York. Cejudo's team tells me that they are down. They like this idea. They like the idea of fighting on the first ESPN card. Big platform, big fight for them. Of course, defending the title for the first time against TJ, who's moving down from 135. As of right now, though, a final decision hasn't been made. They are hoping to figure this out sooner rather than later. Tickets on sale. They need to get this going. They need to build a big card for the debut on ESPN. And I think that that would be the best situation possible for all involved. It's a big platform. It's a title fight. It's a champion versus champion. It's a big deal. It's the best way to kick off this thing. But for now, it is the headliner for that card in Anaheim. So they would then need to find a new headliner, and they wanted to have Tyron Woodley versus Colby Covington. They're having issues getting that fight done. Kamaru Usman has volunteered his services to fight if they can't get Colby done. Woodley isn't ready. It's a bit of a mess on that one, so they need to figure out Anaheim first and then see if they're able to move the flyweight title fight down to Brooklyn. It's a developing situation. We'll see how it all plays out, but that's where things stand for the UFC's return to Brooklyn, New York next month.
Max, you've talked a lot about wanting greatness, searching for greatness, and I'm sure that cut down to 145 isn't getting easier as you get older. Is there a chance that this is your last fight at featherweight and 155 is the next hurdle you're looking at?
Look, we see it happen, First things first, I got him Saturday night, sit down with UFC, I've been a champion. I defended the belt. Now the next goal is to be the #1 pound for pound in the world. We sit down and talk with Dana White then and see if that's a weight above, that's a weight above. If it's me staying down here defending it 10 times more than defending it 10 times.
You've been ready for Brian for most of the year at this point. I'm just curious for your thoughts, having watched him and studied for him. What do you think it is that makes his jiu-jitsu so successful?
He's good. He's a dangerous man, but everybody keep talking about Brian and this and that. Everything the guy did, I did better. He's on 6-fight win streak? I got 12. He beat a champion, I beat 2. And I beat one of them twice. So at the end of the day, the Bless Express is going around in a circle. We laugh at you, bro. Brother, and I'm younger than you, so congratulations.
For Brian, when you hear him say that everything you did, he did better, do you have a response?
Sometimes the best response is no response.
Sometimes you don't have a response, so.
Someone is still delirious.
Also fight at 85. I think Tyron has legitimate potential to be a 3-division champion.
He should start rallying for that 65-pound weight class.
Nobody listens to me anymore, man. If they listened to me, Melvin Manhoef would have been in the UFC back in 2002.
Yeah.
They listen to me sometimes. I think they listen to me with Ben Askren. I'm going to go on record and I'm going to say I'm a big reason why Ben Askren got in the UFC. I brokered a meeting between him and Dana White.
Okay.
Dude, I put it together. I called Dana. I said, look, he's a good guy, man. He's talking shit, but everybody talks shit. Come on. I'm like, the guy's undefeated. And he's like, he was like, when Ambien wants to go to sleep, it takes Ben Askren. And I'm like, it's fighting. See, the thing about fighting is, it's not a matter of what is what's exciting to watch. For a person like you, a person like me, who's sitting by, how is this going to play out?
Yeah. What's going to work? What's going to work?
What works?
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah. I want to see what works. When I see a guy like Ben Askren, I want to see what works. Whoa, he's a 3-1 favorite over Robbie Lawler. Holy shit, that's crazy.
They just added another fight to this card.
Listen, man, you can't sleep on Robbie Lawler. Oh. Don't sleep on Robbie Lawler. That's crazy. That's crazy. 3-1.
3-1 is horrible.
Dude, Robbie Lawler can wrestler.
Yes,
and
he can
Robbie Lawler's
wrestle.
been shutting people's lights out since the early 2000s.
So it's a decent bet then.
It's a very good
I would
bet.
take. I mean, I would take the Robbie Lawler bet, especially
good
with
bet.
him being
3-1,
yeah.
100 to make 300.
Well, if Law, it's plus 230, so you'd win
Oh,
230.
oh, he's a
2.5.
3-1, so you'd have to win.
Yeah.
Bet 3 to win 1 on Askren.
Right, correct.
Yeah, yeah, I'd take that bet. It's a good bet, but I like Askren's chances because I think that wrestling's just on another level.
Yeah.
That's the fight. Here's the fight: 165, Khabib, Ben Askren. Boom! Woo!
I guess Ben can make 65.
100% he can make 65. 100%. He wants to make 65 because he's good friends with Tyron.
Right.
And he's like, I'll be the 65-pound champ. Tyron be the 70 or 75, whatever they decide to go with. That's the fight, man. Khabib versus Ben Askren. Because I'm telling you, man, Ben Askren, they just put his face on the camera the other day while he was in the crowd, and the audience went crazy.
Yes.
He hasn't even fought in the UFC, and they love him.
Yeah. Real fight fans know who that guy is.
They know who he is now. They know who he is now.
Yeah.
It's like he's been building momentum. The hardcore fans absolutely are excited that finally this undefeated phenom of a wrestler is fighting in the UFC.
Yeah. I would pay money to watch him for sure.
Woo! I'll fly to Russia for that fight.
You think that's where they have it?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna fly to Russia and I'm gonna
And
fucking,
commentate that fight?
Yeah, and I'm gonna as soon as I get to my hotel room, I'm gonna have one of them things that checks for bugs. I'm gonna check for hidden cameras and you go to Russia, man.
Check for Putin.
It'll light up.
What's
It'll
that?
light up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, it probably would, right? The whole house is a bug. Yeah, man. I think that's a fight that I'm very, very excited about. Yeah, that whole
234.
185-pound division is kind of crazy because they're promising if Stylebender fights Anderson, they're saying to Anderson, if you win, you get a title shot. And everybody else in the division is like, what? What?
Yeah.
Like, do you think that that's like some trickery to get Anderson to fight Stylebender?
That's exactly what I think it is. That's exactly what I think it is.
Because did they offer Stylebender a title shot if he beats Anderson?
Dan Hooker, I don't believe so. And that Dan Hooker,
that's weird.
Dan Hooker posted that on his Instagram, and I just I like Hooker, and I just had to say something. I was just like, look, we know that and my thought was, we know when Stylebender wins this fight because I really believe Stylebender's going to win that fight. When he wins this fight, he's not going to get that title shot. And for me, as a former fighter and knowing who Anderson is and what he's done for the sport and for the UFC, I'm just like, I feel like that's so. It's disrespectful, if you ask me. That's my opinion. It's an opinion. It's mine, and I stand by it. That we want to make this young guy a star, and we're gonna sacrifice you to the wolf to get that done.
But Anderson still feels like he can compete at the highest level.
Man, we all gonna feel like we can compete. If you put enough money in front of me, I will Khabib up. Right? You put something in front of me that I really want.
Right.
Like, that's the thing.
He give you a goal. He give you a time period to train and prepare for it. Yeah. Anderson's what, 43 now?
Yeah. So that's
It's not
the
outside
thing.
the realm of possibilities. He's the same age as Yoel, or close to it.
Yeah, it's
Yoel's
no,
at least 40.
Yoel's at least, yeah.
He's at least
I believe
40.
he's
He
my
might be
age.
41. I mean, it's not. The problem with and then Anderson, when he started failing drug tests, you're like, ooh, okay, so he's probably struggling. He's trying to get that edge, trying to recover in training. So he's taking a bunch of weird supplements, and some of them are tainted. And
I bet you if you go back to what you used to do. Go back to what it was you did when you became the Anderson Silva that everybody loves. Before he got to the point where, like, before the Forrest Griffin fight, because I believe that's when it started to decline for him. Yeah, he still looked good and he still performed well, but he got away from the fundamentals. In that Forrest Griffin fight, he was able to take Forrest out without the fundamentals, moving his head, doing these weird things, and just popping back. Fundamentals are what's the strongest thing in the game.
for sure, that fundamental, the Forrest Griffin fight's an interesting example too, though, because Forrest had been KO'd twice in training for that fight. Like, he had no business being in there. They really, and he just couldn't take a shot.